Hello and welcome to the first edition of the Lotus House Hour Podcast. I'm Tom and I'm here with Abby. And today we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about Disney movies.
Heck yeah. Are you ready? I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm a certified Disney, not Disney.
I got a list here, but if we go off this list, that's alright.
Are we going to go in depth on our feelings about these movies? What are we doing with this?
I'm going to go about as much as I remember because half of these I haven't watched in years.
Oh, God, yeah.
The first one is Snow White.
Oh, God, Snow White. Disney's initial film, his first movie.
I didn't know how old it was. I thought it was like at least 60s. I found out freaking 1930 was it?
Yeah, 1930.
Was it always in color?
Yeah, that was the first one. That was a big deal because it came out in color. It was like one of the first things that came out in color was Snow White.
Wow.
Yeah. That just like, Wizard of Oz, that changing into color, Technicolor for TV, but this was, you can color in, cartoons and stuff. That was his big thing, his big get.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I remember about Snow White, I liked the movie.
Yeah, it's a decent movie.
Like the mill on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Yeah.
Not you!
No, now the evil queen, because they never gave her a name, evil queen. She's a good villain, I think. She's a good villain.
Did they ever give her a name in like the Universal or the newest?
It was just called. She's just called Evil Queen, I think.
I think they gave her a name in Once Upon a Time. But
but that's Once Upon a Time, and it wasn't exactly Snow White.
Yeah.
It was, and then there's the Snow White that just came out, which we will not mention. I did not see.
I haven't seen it.
I will not see. No, thank you.
But yeah, like the one major criticism the film gets a lot is that they think she married the prince too soon, but when you think about it, they really don't say how much time had passed between when she saved her and when they got married. They just assume it's like
it's an instant happy ever after. So like, why should we go through the aspects of you kissed me awake while I was dead? That's another. Me and my friends always had this conversation whether was she dead or was she unconscious. Because that was a poison apple, so was she dead or was she unconscious? And it was just a magic kiss that woke her up. So my hypothesis, she was dead because it's a poison apple. She was dead, so he kissed a corpse. My true love's kiss.
My kiss has the power to bring people back to life.
Because that makes it more magical, don't you think? Because these are most of Disney's stuff is taken from Grimm's fairy tales. And Grimm's fairy tales were dark. So I think the hypothesis she was dead is much more accurate than unconscious. But we would get into full out debates about this. No, she was dead, dude. She was in a glass coffin, man.
So was it a kiss or was it CPR? Look, damn it!
My love, I saw you. You're so pretty in this glass coffin. So I guess I love you. Awaken,
Love at first sight. My first love was unconscious. How about you?
No, now the unsung hero, Snow White, I'm going to stand behind this because the prince, fine, he met her while she was out working, I think I remember. She was out cleaning or out by the well singing a song or something. Then he skulked up and he just came out of the window, kind of like they did in Sleepy Beauty. He just surprised her, surprise! I'm here. And but that wasn't my issue. My issue was so how did he know she was there? And then the unsung hero is the hunter, because he could have killed her. He really could have. That was his orders. He's the one who brought her out, and his orders were to kill her, cut her heart out, put it in a box, and deliver it to the evil queen. That's a villain.
You talking about the cartoon or Snow White and the Huntsman?
It's in the cartoon too.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure he's supposed to kill her out there. I don't know if it's about putting her heart in a box, but that is part of the story.
I don't know where the Huntsman song came from.
But that's how she got out. That's how she was taken out in the woods was the Huntsman. I'm pretty sure it's the Snow White cartoon I'm thinking of. Oh God! Now you're making me doubt myself, Tom. How dare you?
I want to see Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah.
Like Kristen Stewart wears like night armor. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. You into Kristen Stewart, or is it purely still Emma Watson for you?
I mean, I like Kristen too.
She's a good actor.
Yeah.
She's a good actor. Anyway,
Okay.
I've gone away with it.
I've gone away with it.
Yeah. What's up next?
Sleeping Beauty.
This was an obsession for me as a child. This was my
You
obsession.
know, the thing about it, Sleeping Beauty and Snow White kind of have similar plots. They're
Yeah.
both unconscious, and the kiss wakes them up.
Well, now this one, do you think she was unconscious, like through magic, or was she dead?
Okay, this was the one with.
This is.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
she's
What-
in the tower, surrounded by the thorns, and like.
What is that witch's name? The green lady.
Maleficent.
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 I'm gonna butcher that pronunciation.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, like she casts the spell, the curse, and then she falls asleep or dies or whatever.
Yeah, I think she puts the whole kingdom to sleep, because don't you remember like parts where like people are falling asleep and it's just over time? Well, I think it's supposed to be over time. It overgrows, but magically, because it's, we got 60 minutes.
You
we
know
gotta
how freaking long
throw the
it's been
phones
since
up.
I watched Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, religiously watched it.
I think I was
religiously
5 or
watched
6.
it.
Did that have the 3 fairies, like the blue, the pink,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah. And then they had that fight about the dress.
Yeah.
It needs to be blue. It needs to be pink. Blue, pink, blue,
Blue,
pink.
pink, blue, pink, blue,
Yeah.
pink.
Yeah.
Isn't that my decision?
And she's just out in the forest frolicking. That's where my whole idea of, people as a society should go out in the forest and frolic more, because you never know. You might come across an owl who will steal some neighboring prince's clothes and bring them to you.
Sing with the animals, dance, do the dance.
Oh, but my favorite part were the kings. The kings. Toast, toast to the and they're just getting drunk while they're singing.
Like I'll touch on like the live action we made Star and Little Show, they kind of turn her into like an anti-hero.
Yeah, they turn, and nothing against, because, anti-hero or villain with a backstory. Some of those work, but some of the time, like, I don't need a backstory.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are just evil.
Yeah.
But for Maleficent, because apparently she was also a fairy, she was just a dark fairy or something. But
I want to see how she would have played that role. They let her be full on evil.
Yeah.
Just like I bet she would have slayed it.
I would have enjoyed it if she was just full on evil.
She's a good actress.
Like they did with Cruella de Vil. They still gave her a bit of a backstory, but she turned into a horrible person in the backstory, which I appreciated.
Good, because I was afraid just watching that.
Because at the end of the day,
they were going to make her the anti-hero and it was going to ruin the whole.
Yeah, no. At the end of the day,
plastic thing. So did the prince at least have a name in this one?
Prince Charming. I think they just called him Prince Charming or something. Wait, no. Now I'm questioning myself. I need to watch it again. I think he did have a name.
Chanel.
Adam. Prince Adam.
Prince Adam.
Prince Adam. I think that was his name. Was Adam. And yeah, because they were betrothed. Because, I've got a son. Well, I just birthed this daughter, so let's get our kingdoms together.
Now, were they married before or after she got cursed?
After she got cursed, because he's the one who rescued her. He slayed Maleficent when she turned into a dragon, though.
What are these movies teaching young girls? Pass out, a man would kiss you and wake you up, and you would get married.
All you have to do is be pretty, sing to woodland creatures, and a prince will come and find you.
Do I just need to go out into the woods and find me just a lady who just sings to animals? And
go next to the river, just start singing and frolicking, and some water nymph is going to come out and she's going to want you.
Here's a Pinocchio.
This movie scared me as a child.
That's kind of a sad movie. So I remember it wasn't like the recent live action, but there was an old live action years ago. And there was like this cult deal, and the father turns on Pinocchio. I got so mad.
Yeah, they renamed it Geppetto and it had Polly Shore in it.
I turned off the freaking tape and I refused to watch the rest of the movie. It made me so mad, but yeah, I think Pinocchio was inspired by Shona and the whale a bit, because then they get swallowed by the whale and live inside the whale.
Yeah, something like that. I don't quite remember how it came about, honestly. I wonder if it was another Grimm fairy tale.
I mean, I think almost all the classic Disney movies were based off fairy tales.
Yeah, we're Grimm's fairy tales, yeah. But this one scared me as a child because the whale, Monstro they called it, Monstro the whale.
Oh, that was a big ass whale.
And then that like this weird scene, and this still sticks with me when he's he's run away or whatever, he's been taken or whatever, and he's with this group of young boys who have no parents, and they're just out gambling and shit and stuff. And it starts making me think, I'm like, is this the stick with your parents kind of thing? Because it was, his conscience, what's his face? The little grasshopper? Jiminy Cricket?
Yeah, Jiminy Cricket, man.
Jiminy Cricket, and he stops listening.
I haven't thought about Jiminy Cricket in so long.
And he stops listening to Jiminy Cricket. And so, like, I think at one time they're gambling, they're out somewhere, they're gambling, and they start drinking. And when they start drinking, they turn into donkeys by this one fox dude.
I remember that scene.
Do you remember that fox dude with the cigar? Getting these kids drunk?
You're clouding my childhood memory because I haven't watched this since I was a kid.
Yes!
Oh,
and this fox dude with the cigar comes around and he's helping all these young boys get drunk, and the drink turns them into donkeys, and then he enslaves these donkey boys and they start crying. And I watched like 2-3 times. I'm like, I can't watch this. This is messing with me. It was so weird.
One thing though, I would hate that every time I told a lie, my nose would grow.
Yeah.
It'd just be like, you telling lies, Tom? No, why your nose so big?
And then what constitutes as a lie? Because people do white lies all the time. So would a white lie also do that? Or is it like the big whoppers that he was doing? So like everybody does a little white lie. So like my nose is already going to be huge because everybody does a little white lie.
Yeah, like imagine we had a girlfriend. Does this other man look fat, Pinocchio? No.
You look fine. Oh, babe, do you think I should work out more? No, you're totally athletic enough.
Then you like trying to tone that thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There'd have to be extra passage in doorways and shit. Or there'd be services where you could just cut it off because he was made of wood.
Oh yeah.
So they could have just cut it off.
But wait, I can't remember. Does it do like
it grows and it shrinks.
It grows and it shrinks. Does it shrink when he tells to shoot? Or
I think so. I don't quite remember. The only thing I clearly remember is that scene with the fox dude in this car.
It sounds like it traumatized little kids.
It did.
Like, what the hell's going on here?
That traumatized me more than Monstro the whale.
This is a kid's movie? What?
Yeah. And his dad is swallowed by the whale. And that's how he finds his father, is he's also in there, and then he meets his father in the whale.
How convenient.
Yeah.
Fancy meeting you here, son.
Yeah.
Well, Dad, I hope she's hanging
So,
out.
Dad, like, how's your day? How's your time been away? Well, I stopped listening to my conscious cricket.
And turned into a donkey.
I turned into a donkey by some weird fox guy. Yeah. We were used as manual labor against our will.
And like cartoons are the best when they not adhere to logic, and none of this makes sense.
No, I have to watch it again because it's. Well, I'm sure it was doing it like as morals, like strict. That was a strict moral one, but I don't.
Like don't shrink and turn into a donkey.
Yeah, don't drink, don't gamble.
You'll make an ass of yourself.
Listen to your conscience. Let your conscience be your guide.
Yeah. Okay.
What's up next?
Peter Pan.
Ooh. I have no strong feelings for or against Peter Pan.
Really?
Yeah.
There was a movie, and then there was like a short-lived cartoon show at one time. And I remember this. I think there was one episode that he was like growing up.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh.
And like,
how is he grown up?
I don't know. I can't remember. I could be confusing it with a Shumanji episode. I think he was like getting older, and they were trying to do something. I can't remember.
Well, the only thing that I ever truly, think about when I think about Peter Pan is the talk around how Peter Pan is a metaphor for all the kids who died of typhoid or something. Because they don't ever grow up because they're dead.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like there's some, conspiracy theory behind it. Like the reason they're gone never live is because they're dying from typhoid, or a fire happens because their parents are gone, or something like that.
Morbid.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember I don't know.
And I will die on this hill. Unpopular opinion. Not a fan of Tinkerbell. Not a fan of Tinkerbell. She's not a girl's girl.
Well, you're going to have to leave. I'll do the rest of this podcast.
This is our first initial episode. We've been canceled. All the Tinkerbell.
All right.
All the Tinkerbell stands. How dare dare you say that? She's an inspiration. She's just sassy. She tried to kill Wendy. Like 2 times. Yeah, 2 times.
I never know. All I remember is, clap your hand, you want Tinkerbell to live.
Yeah. That makes me think of the Goes Wrong show where they did Peter Pan. Yeah, I need to make you watch that because the Goes Wrong show is hilarious.
I don't kind of remember when the one with Robin Williams, Hook, where he's like, he's grown up and he comes back and like, you are Peter Pan, he ain't Peter Pan, he's old.
Yeah, and then like my favorite scene of that is because I think I only watched it twice. It just wasn't for me. Was when they start having a food fight and that's when he starts seeing it again. Yeah, that's one that stuck with me. And then who was that? Rooster? Or is that guy? That's the Rooster or the guy who takes over, the kid who takes over, or crow or something? Some kind of bird. Some kind of bird. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Peter Pan. That isn't dark.
Shoot, they made him flat out evil and once upon a time. He was kidnapping kids and just
Well, they're dying from typhoid. They're dying from typhoid or fire. You know.
I want to go back home. You can't. You're dead.
You're dead. Oh, congratulations! You passed typhoid, the disease that has been with us the longest since the beginning of humanity. Typhoid.
Okay, this next one is a personal favorite of mine.
Oh.
The Little Mermaid.
Oh, go off. Tell us about it.
Basically, see. I had a crush on Ariel when I was a kid.
She's pretty, I get it.
And it made sense because her character model is actually based off of young Alyssa Milano.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like they based off her look, so she looks a little bit like her. And I like Alyssa Milano, so that made total sense. Basically, it's based off a novel. I forget who wrote it, but the novel is sad. Like, the novel is flat out depressing. But,
oh, yeah, because it was from The Little Mermaid is Hans Christian Andersen. And at the end, you know, she doesn't get the guy. She turns into bubbles in the ocean.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, you saved me. And she's like, oh, you didn't love me enough. And then she becomes sea foam. Thank you, Hans Christian.
That's what happens when you sell your soul for legs.
That's what happens when you depend on a man.
Cautionary tale. Hey. But anyway, as for the Disney one, I was just like, she's curious about humans. She learns from this. What was the animal that was teaching her all the wrong stuff about life? This is a dingo hopper.
Yeah. Scully, the seagull.
Scully, yeah. Like, this is a dingo hopper. Like,
Scuttle.
And when she's finally human, she's with the prince. She sees the folks. She's like,
yeah. She's just combing her fucking. And everyone, I like to think of it like they should have panned to servants going and just dropping stuff. Like, what is this woman doing? I just cleaned those forks.
And I haven't seen the live action we made, but that scene better be in there.
It's good. I don't quite remember because she's got the braids in. I don't quite remember if they do that part. I did watch it once because, you know, I wanted to support it. And, you know, I like The Little Mermaid. I have no, you know. And generally, this is the only live action remake I've watched of any of the Disney movies. They did add some good songs to it. I liked the Scuttlebutt. Do you hear about the Scuttlebutt? But that's because I like Aquafina. And she's funny. The gossip, the buzz, the who said what's the Scuttlebutt.
I'm just gonna have to get Disney Plus now. That's all it is to
pirate it, babes. Pirate it.
So we at Lotus House do not condone pirating of movies, TV shows, cartoons, animated productions.
But yeah, Little Mermaid, full of banger songs. Everybody knows almost every single song from Little Mermaid.
Fun.
They didn't put in the live action remake. They didn't do Les Poissons. Les Poissons. Les Poissons. I love to chat and to serve little fish. They didn't do that.
Yeah, there's like a popular one in Gad, like when you're a kid, you're on Ariel's side, and when you're an adult, you're on Striken's side.
You're like, yes, Dad, get your 16-year-old back in line.
It's like, I love him, Dad. Good, you barely know him.
Like, you rescued him. That doesn't mean he owes you anything. That doesn't mean you owe him anything. But I do like that in the live action remake, they give it a little bit more time in between them getting to know each other. It was more, she didn't do it because she was in love with the guy. She did it because she was just so curious, and she got in a fight out with her father after he destroyed all her stuff.
Well, I do like when she's in the human world and she can't talk. She's all like just blowing, getting her foot wet and all the humanly us stuff going.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I highly recommend the remake of this because it's a good remake because it basically sticks to it and adds little fun things. It doesn't subtract anything too horribly important to the story like certain other remakes that have just recently come out that I will not mention.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Aladdin.
Wonderful villain in this. He's evil because he's evil. Love it. I'm a Jafar stan.
I like how it ends. Just the outsmart. He like gets stuff off. The Sheeni's the most powerful. They not meant to be an all-powerful Sheenie. Oh, by the way, Dumbo, you gotta be in the lamp and a slave.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no. That was a very because he was reaching. He was thinking about the power. He wasn't thinking about the consequences.
Yeah.
Because there are consequences for that kind of power, and he wasn't. That just never crossed his mind because he's always been going more power, more power.
How did the line go?
Like,
your mom get cosmic power.
Yes. Immeasurable cosmic power. Yeah.
And then like in the second one, freaking, what was the parrot name again?
Iago.
Iago figures the whole thing out. She knocks the lamb into the lava.
Yeah. Oh God. Who did the voice of Iago? Who was that?
I know him. I can't think
Godfrey, something Godfrey, Gilbert Godfrey. Gilbert Godfrey, Robin Williams, they made that movie.
Oh yeah.
Like nothing against Aladdin, nothing against Jasmine. Gilbert Godfrey and Robin
and I think I remember reading that Robin Williams did it as a thank you for something else, and he took like less pay, but he only wanted like.
Yeah, he also didn't want them to merchandise his stuff, and so he got into a fight with them. He's like, you promised when I did this you weren't gonna like merchandise me with this.
And then they did.
Yeah, and they did. They totally did.
Dude, actually, what one thing that I heard that they were planning Aladdin phone, they were going to use like recycled audio from all the what's it called?
From his
when you go off
his cut stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and but he had a damage the wheel that forbid him to do that. So you wait for the guy to die.
Well, the thing is,
Aladdin phone.
yeah. Well, the thing is, they're like, they release him. And they're like, well, it's Robin Williams. We'll just animate around him. Actually, no, I take it back. I also did watch Aladdin the remake with Will Smith in it, and it wasn't bad. I was underwhelmed by the Prince Ali, not because of the bad choreography or anything. This is when they really started just doing AI for everything. I'm like, I understand. Like you can't do some B film of elephants and of peacocks or anything like that. It's all CGI. That's my main peeve. And then also because it was just in the cartoon, it's a big parade. There's like thousands of people because he's a genie. He can do that.
Yeah.
He can make it insane. That was the thing. He's Prince Ali. He's the most richest, most wonderful person. But in the remake, it was just this small little party coming in. And I'm like, well, this doesn't send as much of a message as those 5,000 people that came in on the cartoon. So that one I was disappointed by.
Jasmine wasn't impressed either.
No. And then Jasmine actually gets a song in the remake. Can't tell you what it was. Did not stick with me. But Will Smith didn't do a bad job as Genie. He really didn't.
No,
they added more.
Big shoes to fill.
No. He didn't do bad. Yeah. And then
they made him up blue. They could have made the Genie CGI too.
They gave him a love interest.
The Genie?
Yes, they gave him a love interest. They gave him more back. They gave him more stuff. Like at the end, he has children.
Oh my god!
He becomes human and has children. Spoilers.
Oh well, I guess they ain't adapting Between Shafar live action and all that.
No, I don't. I can't tell you. I don't remember who played Jafar.
I kind of like the little song Shafar singing the Prince Ali. Who can he be? Let's see the Aladdin.
My favorite. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give a pet peeve. My pet peeve is all he did was wash himself and put on different clothes, and nobody knew who he was. Like, he wasn't even that dirty to begin with, so technically he just put on different clothes, and nobody knew who he was. I'm like, Jasmine, you were face to face with him for a while.
It's a Superman issue. Put on some glasses, no one knows who you are.
No! Well, and like, I understand, like, people are like, well, if you can only change yourself so much, but if you put yourself in a situation where people don't usually think you are, they won't think it's you. I'm like, no. I'm like, that's, what's his face? That's that street rat that helped me escape from those jerk guards.
I mean, at the end, Chapman does figure it out. And
she does.
And like tricks him, and he's like,
well, she figures it out.
I was always the prince, but I was just pretending.
Yeah. Then let's talk about the sequels, because I want to talk about the Prince of Thieves.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was a good sequel. That was a pretty decent sequel.
And they got Robin. I heard that the
and
guy
his dad was hot. Aladdin's dad was hot. Daddy.
The guy that got in the second one, Homer Simpson did the voice of the shooting. The second one in the TV show, but once they got Robin Williams back, even though Homer put in a line, they had Robin Williams redo all the lines.
Yeah, for a while they were trying to do a lot of TV shows from the movies, like the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid had a TV show.
Yeah, I didn't find that out.
And she had a deaf friend who was a person of color and used sign language. It was real cool.
I thought one of the episodes of that had a better plot than the prequel, like this guy who hates music.
Yeah.
And some music, so they could have used him in the prequel, and it would have been a better story. Like he doesn't ban music because it's evil. And that film was voiced by the infamous Tim Curry. Mm-hmm. So anyway,
Tim Curry's done a lot of voice work in a lot of movies.
Oh yeah,
usually sequels though, which makes me sad.
He could be in a pure crappy movie.
Like the Beauty and the Beast sequel, or the one where it's talking about the time she spends while she's with the Beast. It fills out more information. He's the evil. What was that? Not harpsichord, not piano. Organ. He's the evil organ. The organ, like the piano.
Let's talk about Sleeping Beauty for a minute, because for some reason my butthead didn't even list that on the list. I forgot all about it.
Nobody talked about.
No, I mean Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Okay, let's break into it. Let's break into Beauty and the Beast.
I want to see the remake because my girl's in it.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's real good. I haven't watched it because I'm not. I saw the character design that they did for the live action, I prefer the old one. Yeah. And I'm just like, after a period of time, I just don't want to give my money to you doing remakes anymore. Because I'm like, I understand why, but could we not? Could we not? But yeah, no. Beauty and the Beast, good one. Big ol' lot of bangers in that one. Gaston is good. Gaston
was the guy who wanted to marry Bella.
Yeah.
Looked so great.
No, only she was as beautiful as me. And I'm like, you gotta appreciate a guy who just is honest about what an ass he is. He's up front. He's like, this is my personality.
Yeah, some of us try to cover that up.
He ain't gonna change.
We can't even marry us, and then we will feel ourselves. And and now you're married to us.
Yeah, and like him and his lackey, LeFou. I'm like, you know what? More power to you two. You're a cute couple. Like the person who needs to fawn in the fawner,
If they remake it again, they might become a couple.
They did. They made it a little bit more obvious in the remake, is what I heard. I heard they made it a little bit more suggestive in the remake.
Propaganda!
The woke agenda! Stop stuffing your stuff down our throat with the woke agenda. Yeah. Why can't they just be quiet about it?
Okay, let's talk about another personal favorite of mine, The Lion King.
Yes.
Now, I did not watch the remake of The Lion King.
No,
I saw one scene. I said, no, they changed it way too much. I cannot get into this.
Well, my biggest peeve about the remakes they're doing nowadays, it's all big name stars for the money.
Yeah.
I was okay with guest stars for things like Aladdin with Robin Williams and Gilbert Gottfried. Those were big gets, but at the same time, I'm not watching this for the people who are doing the voice acting, although there are great voice actors out there. but I would appreciate them doing more voice acting for people who know how to do it. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if you noticed how many people noticed, but the person who voiced Aladdin was actually what was his name?
Oh God, one of the heartthrobs, just like Jonathan Taylor Thomas did young Simba.
He was the boyfriend, the DJ in Full House.
Yeah.
The one that ate all the time.
Yeah. And then that kid from Full House, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, voiced the young Simba. And then they had older Simba was
I
so
know.
famous.
He was in '98 Godzilla movie. I think.
Yeah, he was in like the New Producers.
I can't think of his name either.
It'll come to me like five minutes from now.
So yeah,
but yeah,
Lion King is pretty packed.
And then James Earl Jones.
I think Lion King was the first Disney movie I saw in theater. I just remember seeing it in theater.
Yeah.
And I always closed my eyes to the Mufasa death scene when I was a kid.
Jeffrey Irons did an amazing job.
Oh my goodness.
An amazing job. Can we talk about the villain song? Classic. It's a banger. It's a classic. I have it on one of my Spotify things.
I think I've done a couple of parodies of that song in my personal life.
No. I'm like, if there was ever like a casting of, I would do, if we ever did a play, I would do the villains of, Scar, and I would do Ursula, because they got banging villain songs. They got great.
You got about the white body type of Ursula too.
Yeah, and just put some tentacles on me.
Put some tentacles on, paint what was she like purple?
This is what I live for. This is what I do. To help unfortunate merfolk such as yourself.
Nothing suspicious at all about this one, folks.
I'm a straight. I'm afraid I'd have to rake them across the coals. I've been 2 years. I've been a saint.
Imagine Ursula and Scar together.
I would make a wonderful Scar. Let's be honest. No, you idiots! I will be king. Stick with me, and we'll never go hungry again.
And then he's keen, and the whole place
just grows. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Like he somehow causes drought or something, and I'm like, well, I don't understand how this happens, because it's not like hyenas are the best predators, because he's got this army of hyenas to help him enforce his rule.
I'm pretty sure all those female lions can take those hyenas.
Yeah, no, in the animal kingdom. In the animal kingdom, lions are above hyenas.
Like they lose the male, so they should basically give up.
Yeah, no, they're like, well, our king is dead, our prince is gone. I want to talk about how I'm pretty sure Nala is Simba's sister. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. That's my own conspiracy theory, because only dad I see around is Mufasa.
Yeah.
Where's Nala's dad?
Yeah.
And it's in the wild, it's one male, multiple females, or brothers, multiple females. Where's Mufasa's brother?
Unless the dad is Scar.
Unless the dad is Scar, and why wouldn't they mention that? Why would we not mention that?
Well, shit.
And she's still his cousin then, because that's Uncle Scar.
But shit, he had a whole freaking family in Denver that comes out of nowhere on the second one. All of a sudden, he has a son, a dog, two sons, and a girl.
He's got a son, somebody who's been chosen by him. I don't think he was technically his son. He's got follower lionesses all of a sudden.
They were like bandits and like, well, you never mentioned
Zero. Lion King 2 is a banger. Lion King 2 is a banger.
Yeah, it was good. It was kind of like a Romeo, like the first one like Hamlet, the second one like Romeo and Juliet. Like
and in you pin me.
But dude, like I like the We Are One song, and I really like it. He is not one of us.
Yes.
Like a lot of this duet shingles like that don't always do good, but that was definitely what being made. Now Lion King wanted to have.
I watched once, and I can honestly not tell you what happened in that. I cannot honestly.
All I remember is the scene when they're all bound before Simba.
Yeah.
Apparently they only did that
because of fire.
Because Simba they all fought and they all.
No, and I'm like, why would you undermine that scene?
That's just ruined it.
I did. I'm like, I understand, because they were good comic relief.
What I don't get is why they made a Mufasa movie, but they made the live action instead of animated. I don't understand that.
And I don't know if I want to watch that or not.
I think a lot of people would have been on board more if it was animated.
Yes, because I would have watched it animated.
I think
not CGI.
I think it might be one of the last
And
movies.
then the big thing people had about the the remake was because it was realistic lions, but they're talking. And I'm like, well, with the cartoon, it's a cartoon, but why are we doing such realistic animal style, but they're talking? That was a big stink, if I remember.
I don't know, like everyone.
And then Beyonce was whoever she was.
It's like with the superhero movies; they really have to be grounded in realism.
I'm like, join us in fiction. Like this is Hamlet told by lions. Can like it doesn't need to be real. Zazu.
Hakuna Matata.
I'm like, what if some nature group just goes by and like, here are our talking lions, and people are like, oh my god. Anyway.
Here's kind of a controversial one, Pocahontas.
Oh.
Because the actual movie is nothing like the movie. That wasn't even her
She was 12.
Oh
she
my
was 12
goodness, that ticks me off.
She was 12 and she was kidnapped. I was standing behind that.
Like they.
And it wasn't even John Smith who she married. It was like John something else.
Yeah,
John Smith is just the one who came.
Well, we can't tell the real story to the kids, so we'll just make up some stuff.
Let's not be honest about this colonization and stealing
they did
of native women and transporting them across seas and then them dying.
They did the same thing with the Hercules Disney movie.
Yeah.
How you go into a plane? No, Zeus treated on his wife with a human and made this demigod.
Yeah. Let's not and say we did. And she's totally an 18-year-old. The thing I have with is this is just another series and a line in a series of women of color being overly sexualized in Disney. Because she's animalistic. She's moving like an animal all the time because she's native, so she must be connected to the earth and stuff.
Can you feel all the...
Yeah.
Is it see or feel all the colors of the wind?
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? It's a good song. I'm not going to say it's not. It's a good fucking song. But I don't like how they made her